Hello and welcome to the home of the Ghost Owl, continuing with our Warhammer The Old World Rulebook in-depth sort of review and look. We're now on to the part 2 of the combat phase. Before we looked at the basics of who can fight and then the rolling to hit, to wound, and the armor save. So now continuing on, we're into removing the casualties. So casualties are removed as normal from the rear rank. Slain models are considered to have been removed from the ends of the fighting rank, with the rear ranks stepping forwards to fill the gaps. Now, it's certainly important to set the casualties aside before removing them on the tabletop. This will be beneficial and make things easier. So basically just put them next to the unit where they came from, and that will aid in quickly identifying how many models remain in the fighting rank. So you can easily see, oh, I lost 5, my fighting rank is 6, only 1 can attack back. And then at the end, it will also help a lot when it comes to tallying up that combat result, because you can exactly see how many people were killed. And then at the end of the turn, obviously, you can take all these models and remove them from the tabletop. Now, if there are more casualties than in the fighting rank, then continue to remove as normal. So basically, you've taken out the fighting rank, you basically just keep going. If the unit can make supporting attacks, however, this will be reduced. So this represents taking out that second rank as well. So again, important to remember how many were killed. If you've got a fighting rank of 5, 7 were killed, you'd lose 2 from the second rank as well, which means you'd only get 3 supporting attacks in that case. Now it comes to calculating the combat result. How do we know who won? If the enemy isn't wiped out, it's important to determine what happens next. So if both units remain after casualties, then a combat result calculation is needed to determine who won the combat. So you get 1 point each for each unsaved wound inflicted. You get 1 point per rank to the appropriate maximum according to troop type for rank bonus. If you have a standard bearer, you get 1 point. If you have a battle standard bearer, you do get an additional point, standard of battle standards. Flank attack, you get 1 point. If you attack in the rear, you get 2 points. If you're on high ground, you get 1 point. And if you overkill, you get 1 point for each excess wound. And then there are other bonuses as applicable. So looking at those in a bit more detail. So it's the number of unsaved wounds caused in combat plus any unsaved wounds from standing and shooting. So you do add standing and shooting casualties to the wounds caused in the actual melee. And if any model is just removed from play due to an ability, its wounds characteristic is used to again calculate the number of wounds. So you got a 3 wound model. If some ability just outright instantly killed him, well, that does count as a score of 3 for the combat result. Now, rank bonus is +1, as we said, for each rank behind the first up to the maximum determined by its troop type, and we did cover that before. So a standard bearer, you get +1 point. You do get +1 point for the battle standard bearer as well, and this is cumulative with a normal standard, so you could get +2 there. We talked about flank and rear. That's pretty straightforward. High ground, again, pretty straightforward. So if the unit occupies a higher position than the enemy, such as being on a hill. And then overkill, if a character's fighting a challenge and kills its opponent but deals more wounds than the slain model has. So if you've done 5 wounds and the slain model has only 3 wounds, the 2 excess wounds will count towards the combat result. So those excess wounds are important. And then you've got other bonuses for things like close order formation, you get +1 point, and potentially other special rules as well. And then you can declare the winner. So the winner is the unit that scored the most, with the loser having to take a break test in the next subphase. If the score is a draw, both units will remain locked in combat until the next turn, where the combat will continue. Combat results and multiple units in combats can happen if several units are engaged in a single combat. You do not count the rank bonus for all of them. You only count the highest rank bonus in each of the army's units. So, there's two units from one army, 2 units from another. You actually, in each case, you only pick the one with the highest rank bonus. You can only claim the bonus of a single standard bearer, even if there are multiple standard bearers in the combat. You can only claim 1 flank bonus and 1 rear bonus, regardless of the number of units engaged in that arc. So even if you have 2 units that charge the rear arc, you only get 1 rear bonus. However, if you do charge the flank and the rear, you do get 1 of each, so that would be a cumulative result, giving you a +3 bonus. Only a single unit can claim high ground too, so if multiple units are on high ground, only 1 can claim it, and that is the unit that is highest overall. And then the other bonuses confer additional points. These are cumulative unless specified otherwise. So if you have 2 units that are in combat order, you do gain +2 points because they are additional. And there you go. That's a quick run through about the combat itself, determining who the winner is and how you calculate that all-important combat result in reality. So you do your rolls to hit and wound, which is great, but the combat result is the most important determining factor. Actually determining who did win that combat, and that has then a significant impact on what happens in the rest of the turn, but then obviously in the next player's turn of the game as well. A short video, but I hope you found it useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Let me know why in the comments down below. And as always, if you want to see more content, please hit that subscribe button. It's free for you to do, means a big deal for me, so thank you for that in advance. You've been watching The Ghost Owl. Tune back in as we go into the final part of the combat phase before we then start moving into additional rules, psychology, universal special rules, and much more.